Please subscribe.
The 2019 Nissan Maxima has a desire to move quickly. The moderate-sized car was invigorated for the current year with a more up-to-date nose and inside to fit onto its shapely body. The Maxima has consistently been Nissan's sportier car, contrasted with the related Altima, if anybody's despite everything searching for that kind of thing. What's left for this present year is acceptable, however the Czech is apparently abandoning low-through-4 entryways. The 2019 Nissan Maxima gains a 6.2 on our general scale. Like a year ago, the Maxima is accessible in S, SV, SL, SR, and Platinum trim levels and expenses about $35,000 to more than $40,000. The progressions this year are generally minor, another mane and tail, some dressier inside trims, as well. The Maxima's profile has consistently been solid and shapely, which we appreciate. In the engine, the story's for the most part the equivalent. A well-worn 3.5-liter V6 makes 300 drive in the Maxima and mates to a ceaselessly factor-programmed transmission, CVT, to control the front wheels as it were. That is not actually an exciting blend, yet it's sufficient to overpower the front tires quickly at stoplights for a modest smile. The Maxima SR is the energetic evaluation among the lineup, and likely the better decision considering the 4 entryway's lively past. The SR gets beefier suspension bits, tall 19-inch wheels, and directing wheel-mounted door shifters to wring out the most from the motor. Inside, the Maxima is generally agreeable in advance, with strong seats and a cockpit arranged toward the driver. In spite of 109.3 crawls between the wheels, the Maxima's back seat is moderately confined and its trunk is little for the class. Alongside visual upgrades, the Maxima included a heap of dynamic security highlights to most models that incorporates vulnerable side screens and versatile voyage control. All Maximas can naturally brake to keep away from, or relieve, forward accidents. Base models are outfitted with 18-inch wheels, material upholstery, a 8.0-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto similarity, Bluetooth availability, and 2 USB chargers. Top trims can include delicate calfskin, 19-inch wheels, premium sound, and route. This year, the Nissan Maxima got a facelift that helped smooth a portion of the more unpleasant corners we found on the 2018 variant. Its face is currently corresponding to the remainder of its chiseled physique, and its inside is better, as well. Beginning from a normal score, we give the Maxima 2 focuses better than expected for a challenging outside that is more bold than a large portion of its rivals and 1 point for an inside that is improved. It gets 8. The Maxima's new nose is progressively sensational this year, plunging further into the V-formed grille, and it's better for it. The lights are refreshed as well, with a progressively emotional mark that peruses increasingly upscale to us. Around the sides, the Maxima is as yet sensational. It's an invigorating take among vehicles that ordinarily look frump, machine-like, and have less highlights than our fridge in some cases. Praise to Nissan for as yet trying, if any customers are as yet focusing. Maxima SR models include sportier contacts like a back spoiler and smoky eyes in advance, however every Maxima looks suggestive. Inside, the Maxima cants its instruments and controls toward the driver, a checked contrast contrasted with the workaday Altima. Its highlight is as yet a huge 8.0-inch touchscreen for infotainment, yet the lodge isn't overflowing with an overburden of tech. This year, top trims can be fitted with dark-colored, stitched calfskin, which is an upscale touch. Contrasted with the related Altima, the 2019 Nissan Maxima is a driver-first vehicle with more inclination than a commonplace fair-size car. Contrasted with the Maximas of days of old, the 2019 form is somewhat less exciting. This year, the 2019 Maxima continues with a similar V6 and constantly factor-programmed transmission, CVT, it had a year ago. It gets a 6 out of 10 for a point better than expected for its solid force. The V6 under the Maxima's hood is a steed that has been in Nissan's steady for some time now. The 3.5-liter V6 makes 300 horsepower and 261 pound-feet of torque, yet the vast majority of its capacity is saved high in the fire-up extent. That implies keeping our correct feet covered somewhere down in the throttle where the CVT leaned towards we don't blend, and its high firing up commotions were our first piece of information. Nissan fits dynamic climber dropping to SL, SR, and Platinum trim levels, where it's valued. SR grades get us Imposer that recreates a somewhat energetic tune for the lodge. What's left is a peaceful uproar in the engine, which is somewhat engaging, yet additionally not fitting a vehicle that can cost upward of $40,000. The CVT isn't without its charms, be that as it may. In contrast to some other Nissan autos, the CVT gets an extraordinary tune for better departure, and a sport catch can keep the fires up higher in the range, if that is what you're into. On Maxima SRs, directing wheel-mounted door shifters can keep the motor on bubble and Chabris-produced shifts from the CVT. A CVT doesn't utilize ordinary apparatuses like a standard programmed, yet rather utilizes variable pulleys to keep motors generally proficient. The Maxima's guiding is splendid, because of heavier weight and a thicker directing wheel than most vehicles. In our drives we've seen some body roll, even on the SR's stiffer springs, on turn-in, yet the Maxima despite everything wants to be driven. Its electric guiding is well weighted, yet additionally somewhat numb. The Maxima frequently runs on smooth riding 18-inch wheels, however top trims and SR models get 19 inches. SR adaptations include thicker influence bars and increasingly responsive brakes, as well. The 2019 Nissan Maxima has full-size measurements outside, yet just moderate-size space inside. It's littler than the related Ultima, shockingly. We like the front seat pails enough for a point better than expected, yet avoid granting any more. The Maxima gets a 6. The front seats are steady and throughout the day agreeable, shod in base fabric, grippy manufactured calfskin, or all the more regularly, genuine cowhide stows away. Indeed, even base seats are power flexible, to some degree uncommon among standard cars. The back seats are littler than you'd anticipate from a car this size, at any rate. On paper, the Maxima sports 34.2 crawls of backseat extra space, which is on par for a littler class. The back seats are profoundly etched and acceptable for 2 grown-ups, yet just 2. The Maxima's roofline eats into accessible headroom also, and 3 across isn't perfect for any more drawn out than a ride to lunch. For better solace and more space, the related Ultima is a superior fit. Inside, the Maxima sports quality materials in an attractive format, better for 2019 with the discretionary top trim, jewel-sewed calfskin. The Maxima's trunk offers 14.3 cubic feet of load space, which is little for its group. The absolute greatest changes to the 2019 Nissan Maxima from a year ago include dynamic well-being highlights. Government and autonomous analyzers haven't yet completed their surveys of the Maxima. Until they do, we'll retain our well-being score here. Expect that this score will change, soon. A year ago, the Maxima aced the entirety of its accident tests, and was named INF's top safety pick. Government analyzers gave the Maxima 5 stars no matter how you look at it, including a 5-star score in the determined rollover test. Headlights that were evaluated worthy or poor by the IFS a year ago may improve this year. The Maxima's standard programmed crisis stopping mechanism was evaluated unrivaled by the IFS a year ago at maintaining a strategic distance from forward accidents. This year, Maxima SV and higher models are outfitted with Nissan's suite of dynamic well-being highlights, called Safety Shield 360. Vulnerable side screens, versatile voyage control, forward impact admonitions with programmed crisis braking, and back cross-traffic alert are a piece of the well-being suite. Maxima SR and Platinum models likewise get traffic sign acknowledgement and dynamic path control, despite the fact that the framework misses the mark concerning the ProPilot Assist highlights found on other Nissan models. The Maxima includes more airbags for 2019, including driver and front traveler knee airbags. Nissan doesn't let a lot of alone for the 2019 Maxima that we'd ask from a full-size car. This year, similar to a year ago, the Maxima is offered in 5 trim levels with expanding common luxuries. The base 2019 Nissan Maxima S costs barely short of $35,000 and returns 18-inch wheels, material upholstery, programmed crisis braking, a 8.0-inch touchscreen for infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto similarity, Bluetooth network, power movable front seats and 2 USB ports. Altogether, that is adequate for a point better than expected. The large touchscreen even acquires another point better than expected. The Maxima gets a 7 for highlights. The Maxima is offered in S, SV, SL, SR, and Platinum trim levels. The Maxima Platinum verges on extravagance and costs more than $42,000. Those vehicles are furnished with a warmed guiding wheel that is power customizable, 19-inch wheels, double sheet sunroof, premium sound, route, attendant services, cowhide upholstery, warmed and cooled front seats, wood trim accents inside, an Encompass C camera framework, and Nissan's suite of dynamic well-being highlights, that we spread previously. The Maxima SR trim level is the sportier pick among the bundle, and one that we'd think about more genuine to the vehicle's underlying foundations. For more than $40,000, the Maxima SR offers comparative hardware to the Platinum model, yet skirts the attendant services, Encompass C camera framework, it's discretionary, and subs the calfskin upholstery for grippier manufactured softened cowhide. The Maxima SR includes controlling wheel-mounted or shifters and a game-tuned suspension, alongside sportier outside accents. Common to the vast majority of Nissan's vehicles, there are hardly any accessible individually choices accessible for the Maxima. Nissan packages the majority of its highlights into trim levels that add hundreds to the main concern, at times thousands. Thrifty customers might need to consider the SL trim level or lower. Boo!